I find that I'm shaking my head when I'm reading the news these days a lot more than I used to be. I read about some of these Reopen America protests, and where people have brought guns to them, and I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing, right? Like I hear some of the political fights that are going on, and I'm just like, what are you doing? What is going on? We have such bigger fish to fry right now, and we have a global situation where we all need to look after each other. And sometimes I just see this stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing now? I realize, right? It starts to piss me off. It starts to piss me off at a point, and I have a hard time moving past it. But here's what I do to get past it. And if you are experiencing this kind of experience of seeing these kinds of people right now, then stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. So I am Owen. Hello, thank you so much for joining today. If you are on YouTube, I hope that you will subscribe to this video. Hit the button below, please. And then please join our group on Facebook, our Abundance Hackers Facebook group. I will put a link in the chat here for you now. We'd love to have you. It's a good group of folks. All right. So when I started in journalism school at USC in college, I had, done wrote for the paper in high school and knew basically what the game was all about. And I was not at all prepared for the first journalism writing course that I ever took in college. And it was extremely difficult. I couldn't believe it. I really noticed how easily my own opinion entered in whenever I was writing a piece. And in journalism, right, in journalistic writing, at the core of journalism, we don't see it as much these days on some of the 24-hour news networks, but at the core of it is that your opinion doesn't enter into the story. The writer's opinion doesn't enter into the story. All you're doing is telling both sides of a story. We're just telling what happened. I noticed just how many opinions about what is going on I had and how hard it was to keep them from getting in the writing. Like so many times I would get my articles sent back just being like, this is all your opinion. This is your opinion. This is your opinion. What happened? On the bit about, telling both sides, it is a big challenge. It is a big challenge to put yourself, it was for me in many cases, to put myself in the shoes of someone else who I just completely disagreed with. But as a journalist, it is our duty to tell both sides of the story. Again, this is what it's supposed to be about. We don't always see it in today's media. So it's difficult. It is difficult to put yourself, was for me, and I'm very sure it is for you too, to put yourself in the shoes of someone that you really disagree with. But on that note, there are some facts also that I learned, like some things about what has happened are important just to me. Like many things I would write in my articles, I was like, oh, this is important, and it would keep kick back to me like, no, this is just important to you. This is not a universally important fact about what has happened. This is just important to you. So I realized how challenging it is to write about something, particularly something that I felt really close to, without any opinion in it, being able to fully understand both sides of the equation and tell that story accurately, and understanding, which are the facts that are universally important to all the different people who are going to be reading this particular article. It is not easy to do this. Maybe it sounds easy, but it is very difficult. It was for me to really step back and take a step back and look at the people, the players, the situations just as they were, and to tell the story as it happened, and to see it from multiple different sides. So these days, when I see stupid stuff that I disagree with, which we know there's some, right? Again, these protests with guns, the political fighting, all of this stuff, like that, people are just being so bizarre. Quite frankly, I mean, I don't like to get too political here on this feed, but I'm just sure that anybody who has even heard of one of Donald Trump's briefings on coronavirus has probably experienced this. So But you see things that just make you go, what are you doing? I take a step back and I remember that everybody's experience is different. Everybody on this earth, everyone's experience is completely different. And just as I'm sure that you have some things that other people don't know about, right? Other people probably have some things that you don't know about. So I used to take a step back and be like, okay, got it. You know, Donald Trump might be totally nuts, but you know, he's the president of the United States. I would not want that job right now. I wouldn't want that job right now at all. At all. So, you know, that's what's happened. Now, here's the other side of it, is that everybody is also entitled to believe whatever they want to. That's true. Everybody is entitled to their own beliefs and do whatever they want as the belief, in the belief regard. So, really, if someone wants to get angry about all of this, it's fine. It's their prerogative. They won't be an abundance hacker anytime soon, but you might, because you get all this stuff. So, you know, everybody is entitled to their own beliefs, and I can't control their beliefs. I cannot control anybody else's beliefs. I can't do it. Now, here's the great news in all of this. The flip side is that while everybody is entitled to their own beliefs, so are you. You are entitled to your own beliefs as well, and nobody can make you believe anything that you don't want to. So you get the same freedom as all of these ridiculous people who are driving you crazy, right? So you can control, while you can't control them, these people, and you can't control what they believe, you can't control what you believe, you can control your thoughts and your actions. That's what all of us can do, and that's the great news in all of this, is that while others are choosing to use their thoughts and actions to be ridiculous, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. You don't have to suffer through being ridiculous, because you get to choose whether you want to be or not. We all get to select what we're thinking and how we move forward with that. So I don't really like to get into negatives, and I've learned from many different places about how negatives are less powerful than positives. Like, it is so much harder to motivate yourself towards, I'm not going to do something. And even in political campaigns, studies show that getting people to vote on a no item is so much harder than getting them to vote on a yes item. So it's not about choose not to be ridiculous. It is about choosing what you do want to do. Choose to be the example of what you would like to see people doing right now. Choose to be the model that other people can follow, and they can see, oh yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go over and follow this one, right? You can do that. You can get into service. You can get into action. And probably the best way to do this is really just by connecting with your passion. If you are feeling like you're seeing a lot of ridiculous people around and you're just not able to get through it and get past it, then take a look at your life. Take a look at your situation. Are you maybe a little stuck? Are you doing something that you don't want to be doing? Are you able to make a change and switch it up? Are you able to lower the volume on the ridiculousness that is coming at you? So think about it, right? Think about it. Now, your passion, if you don't know what your passion is, then I recommend you take an hour out of every day, dedicate it either to moving your passion forward, spending some time with it, or just simply figuring out what it is. So if you want some help to figure out what your passion is, or you want to find out a little bit more, then I recommend you go to owenjward.com. There, if you tell me where to send it, I will give you a free copy of your Guide to Go from Scarcity to Abundance, How to Unlock and Unleash Your Superpower. So I hope that this helps. I hope this allows you to forgive some of the ridiculous people who are in your life, in your airspace, in your mind, and move forward in a way that they just can't bug you any longer. So thank you as always. I will talk to you tomorrow.